introduce the guest of lecture, our senior professor G. Balachandran sir from Chennai. Sir holds a master degree in statistics and has a diploma in educational planning from University of London, UK. He was a member of Indian Statistical Service, ISS, a technical wing of Indian Civil Service, and has served in the Federal Ministers of Planning, Agriculture and Human Resource Development in India and in the Ministry of Health. Sir is associated with the World Community Service Center and worked for 40 years. Sir has been serving the organization in full time since the year 2000 and worked directly with the founder Sri Yogiraj Sri Vedatri Maharishi. Sir is also director in the Directorate of Other States and Foreign Countries. He has been teaching our sky system in India and abroad, covering over 20 countries across the globe. So we have such an eminent personality here for us to give a talk on the topic, how can we transform the viral curse to a boon for humanity? Now we request our senior professor, G. Balachandran sir, to deliver his speech. Be blessed by the divine.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May we all be blessed with good health, long life, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Dear friends, it's indeed a great pleasure and an honor to have an opportunity to talk about a subject in front of all of you in these days of crisis. May the divine and Guru guide us in all our activities. The topic for today is, how can we transform the viral curse to a boon for humanity? Yes, it's a curse, a viral curse. Even a few months back, we would not have even imagined that our life will be totally topsy-turvy in just a few months. Everywhere, the whole world has come to a standstill. Thousands and thousands of people are getting killed in the most advanced countries and in the impoverished countries. Borders of nations seem to have no meaning at all for this virus. A small virus which we cannot even see, can it do such a big damage to us? And we have all been extremely proud of our scientific discoveries. We were landing on Moon, we were landing on Mars, we were conquering this and that. And we have nuclear bombs which could shatter the world 200 times over. With such phenomenal scientific, economic, political developments, how is it that we are not able to do anything against a small virus? Because we have forgotten that the Mother Nature is much more powerful than all of us. It is because of the power of Mother Nature that we are able to do something. But in our ego, we have forgotten all those things. Masters across millenniums, across countries have time and again given us this lesson that we should know where we stand in nature. And they're told in different languages. The latest one was Vedatri Maharishi, who started the organization called World Community Service Center. So just to be topical, the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, he has made a statement. And for the last so many days, he has been making statements after statements, stating that it is beyond, it is not just a health crisis. Yes, through COVID-19, a pandemic, is a first and foremost, it's a health crisis, but its implications are most far-reaching and could threaten global peace and security. Now, that is a statement he makes. A man from a very responsible position. And just before this, he was a UN High Commissioner for Refugees for 10 years. He has seen 6 crores of refugees across the world. And so it's not just a health crisis. Unemployment is growing. Unrest is growing everywhere. We don't know when it's going to burst out and what shape it's going to take. And unless we take corrective measures, not as individuals, not even as individual countries. Now, the problem is bigger than the countries now. It is very, very important to identify this. And that's how our UN Secretary General statement of talking about heightened solidarity is needed. What does he mean by that? We can see that today's problems in each country, depending on the leadership, their lack of awareness, or their priority with something else, or just because they don't have enough facilities, each country is suffering in different ways. And any country which is not able to keep up could spread this all over the world. And UN Secretary General had made a statement, a very beautiful, poignant statement, that our health system is only as strong as the weakest health system of any country. And he says that if Africa gets affected, then in many places, they just don't have even drinking water. They live in huts. How can you think of social distancing? Today, world is getting awakened. The amount of poverty, the amount of squalor where they are living, only now our eyes are getting opened. In our mad rush for more and more goods to be under control, we have forgotten that a sizable amount of the world population is not having enough to eat, no clean, hygienic place to live, no drinking water. And that is not, now we thought it's not our problem, it's not in our country, or we are not seeing them. But today we understand that problem anywhere could spread all over the world. So this is a timely warning. Nature has given us a very timely warning. We better learn the lesson. In 2001, September 11, 9/11, we all remember that sad day, 2001, when the Twin Towers hit by some terrorists. It could have flared up into a world war. If some country was fully involved in that, and there were two groups, it would have started a third world war. Luckily, it did not happen as a world war. And if it had happened, the amount of nuclear weapons we have, the whole humanity would have been completely squashed. And because we did not learn lesson from that, we continue to have more and more arms. We continue to produce more and more luxurious goods at the cost of basic needs. We continue to live in the very same way. And in fact, we have a reason to be even more armed now. And now comes, so instead of the Third World War, now we have got this viral curse. The UN Secretary General says that after the Second World War, the biggest threat to world peace is this. But if humanity rises up, wakes up at least now, it is good that it is not between countries now. Today, the war is against entire humanity. So it is humanity versus the virus. So here the humanity has to get together, not as 2 or 3 different groups, as allies and axis, or communist and socialist and things like that. No, the whole world has to work together. So in a way, the world unity a semblance of world unity is seen now. That itself is a boon. And the solution does not lie in each government taking independent action. Even one government's inaction or wrong action could produce havoc, as we have seen. United Nations has to be provided enough teeth, enough strength to tackle this problem. World Health Organization could be a global organization to see that there is a proper method of dealing with this viral crisis. Now they have to overall see how the planning has to be done so that no part of the world is continuing to be in this, because it's once again flares up to the whole world. Similarly, the financial situations, the IMF, World Bank, they need to have adequate funds if this has to be tackled, which is almost like a war. Today, each country is having what's called emergency. In India, it's national emergency now. States cannot do anything what they like. National emergency is there. So is there in every country. But it is not a national emergency now. It's a world emergency. So if it's a world emergency, we should have a world federal government declaring emergency. And right now, temporarily, with UN being all our countries being represented, that could be a world federal government. And in an emergency, the first thing, in fact, he has talked about, at least now we should think of not having any war during this period. That means banning the war, at least temporarily, till we get over this problem. So UN, true representation of the whole world, of course, it has got its some defects are there that could be corrected in due course. So if they can declare a ban on war, but if somebody is not following it, what to do? So temporarily, even the world army can be at the hands of the United Nations. And because no country will have separate control over army, we will not be having any war at all. So the huge army which the world will be having at its disposal, but not necessary for any destructive purposes, 90% of that can be used for constructive purposes. In fact, the best brains, the most advanced scientific equipments are used for war, the military. And they can all be used for tackling this problem of this viral crisis. Wherever required, water can be provided, roads can be provided, emergency emergency actions can be taken, so that nowhere in the world that hygiene problem or health problem is there. On a war footing, the entire world army can work on it. See how the world will be in that case. This is exactly what Vedadri Maharshi has been saying. And that is why the World Community Service Center was started by him. Because he was a witness to the Second World War. A kind man that he was, he wanted to go to the front and heal the soldiers who are getting wounded or killed. Through St. John's Ambulance, he wanted to go there. But unfortunately, the war ended because of a nuclear holocaust, which we all know. And then, just a few years later, he saw the Indian partition, where millions were uprooted. Lakhs of people were killed, maimed, just because you speak a different, when you belong to a different religion. The memories are still fresh in people who had seen those days. So seeing all this only, Maharshi came to a conclusion that just national feeling alone is not enough. In fact, it is an anathema. We have to think of world as one. And that is why he started the organization called World Community Service Center. And he has worked 60, 70 years for this. He has addressed the United Nations organization. He has submitted the World Peace Plan. And the latest is the 14-point plan In fact, now you will see that that 14-point plan can be easily applied. Earlier, no country could have even thought of doing this because they were all so regionalistic thinking, so narrow-minded in thinking, that we could not have thought of anything bigger than the nation. So one of the points is living under the guidance of intellectuals. So today, in this international emergency, instead of local political leaders taking direction, giving directions, they have to be guided by a world brain trust. And it is not difficult to formulate because the UNO has got expertise. Right now in IMF, Raghuram Rajan has been included as one of the experts in IMF. So they will think at the global level. The World Health Organization is there, FAO is there, UNESCO is there. So we have people, intellectuals capable of thinking at the world level. So under those people's guidance of intellectuals, if the world can be run in these days of emergency, you will find that many of the problems can be solved. First of all, straight this COVID-19, how to deal with it at international level. But immediately following that, we are going to have rising unemployment, economic downturn, women, the most disadvantaged groups, having to undergo so much of pain. Unless a global thinking is there, these things cannot be solved. And this unrest could create havoc in human society. So Swamiji's first plan, world without war, a ban on war is possible. In fact, UN Secretary General makes a statement, even temporarily. So world without war can be even, at least it is thinkable now, or it has become a necessity. Then he talks, second point is economic equality, better distribution. So once we understand that as long as poverty, unemployment, unhygienic conditions, lack of drinking water is there, this pandemic can come back again. So it is out of selfish interest. All of us have to get and see that economic equality, or at least basic food and water, being made available to everyone. So today it has become a necessity for survival of the entire human species as a whole. So it's not a charity that you throw some bread crunches to some people staying away. And then a fair judicial system. The present system is somehow highly exploitative. So can we have a judicial system which is in tune with nature? International Court of Justice is already there. Only thing is that there's no power. They are not able to implement what they want. They don't have the power behind it. But if the entire world army is there, and if the statements are, and if the judgments are to be implemented, just like a Supreme Court giving it for India, the same thing can be done for at the world level as well. One world government. Yes, provisionally, we can have this one world government. Later, when we see the benefits of this, the whole world can get together and they will find its advantages to work under a world federal government. The individual nations may have their sovereignty, just like states in a country. They have their sovereignty, but still there is a federal government which is able to look at impartially for the whole country. Similarly, we could have a world federal government. When that is there, and with so much finances and power, military power, they can, all the backward areas, backward peoples can all be brought forward to a level where unemployment, illiteracy, unhygienic conditions can be made, could be a dream, could become a reality. All these problems can be solved. Respect for womanhood, another point, can be implemented. Living in tune with nature. So today we understand that when we don't live in tune with nature, when we start exploiting the mother nature for our ego, for our profits, without caring for anyone. Just for profits, we could do anything. If we can get over that and start living in tune with nature, give respect for nature, which is giving bountiful, giving everything to us. You don't have to exploit it. You have to see how it should be used properly. So like this 14 points Swamiji has mentioned, which till the other day was a utopia. That is, it's just a dream. But today we find that it could become a reality. And if it does not become a reality, our cost of not making it a reality will be too high. And for this, luckily, because of this viral curse, the whole world can be together. If one or two countries are not ready to accept this, the rest of the countries, 180 countries, can get together and still work on it. So with that global strength, we will find that many of the points which we have been dreaming of could become a truth. This earth can be a heaven. Today, it's a hell created by us, and we ourselves can make it a heaven. And nature has given a blow to us. If we don't learn this lesson, I don't know what will be the next lesson and whether we'll be able to bear it or not. The concept of cause and effect as a divine law, making it a part of education so that the next generation does not have to go through this problem. So they will have a good idea of what environment is, how to protect it. Should we have so many of luxury goods when there are people who don't have enough to eat also? So what is enjoyment? So all these concepts can be incorporated in our education system so that the next generation is able to start thinking in a different way, growing beyond religions, beyond nationality, beyond all these divisions which we have created by ourselves. And Swamiji's concept of philosophy of magnetism. Today's science has not yet touched on the truth of magnetism, the depth of magnetism, the concept of gravity. Maharishi gives radically new concepts which are at once philosophically and scientifically can be true. And we could have even universal agreement on one truth. After all, there is only one truth. We just call it by different names. It is time that we religious leaders get together and find out what is that one truth and declare it to humanity. The scientists have produced so many good things for our society, but they are all used for as luxury goods for people who got money. But the poor continue to have no shelter, continue to have no food, etc. So scientific advancement has been misused by the political leaders and economic leaders. But that very same science, which was producing nuclear bomb, can produce simple roads, build dams where water can be stored and distributed. So a time has come, as Vivekananda said, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. If we don't arise, if we don't awake, the next root shock from nature, maybe humanity cannot bear it. This is not an idle warning. A world war, Einstein was asked this question, who will win the third world war? Whether it is the communist bloc or the American bloc. So Einstein said, I don't know who will win the third world war, but the fourth world war will be fought with stones because the entire humanity would have lost all that it had discovered. We would be like Stone Age men. So completely ravishing all that we have got so far. If these things have to change, we should take lesson from this viral curse and make it a boon to humanity. Instead of having a world war, fighting against a virus is a better proposition, because then the whole world will be together. It doesn't matter whether your skin color is yellow or black or brown or white, what language you speak. We are all children of the same nature. Mother Earth is our mother. All of us are brothers and sisters. And we are one world government can make all our lives. We can enjoy a beautiful life individually, family-wise. Office could be a beautiful place to work with. Businesses can be without much of this unnecessary competition, exploitation. A life can be a high quality life is possible for all of us. And even other living beings will be happy, because we are cruel to everyone, to the nature, to other animals, to impoverished people. Instead, love and compassion can be a language which even animals will understand. Even they have their ownership on the earth. It's not only us. We have forgotten all that. It is time that we understand nature in its depth and understand the truth of nature, how bountiful it is there. So, with these words, if UNO wants, Swamiji's, these things have already been submitted. In 2000, we had a World Conference on Peace. UN permanent representative was handed over all these things. So the material is available for United Nations organization to have a relook. And may the divine give us a better way to look at life and transform our lives. With this fond hope, I conclude this session. I thank once again the organizers, the World Community Service Center, for having given me this opportunity to express these views. Thank you so much. If there are any queries or clarifications, I'll be very happy to respond. Be blessed by the divine.
Be blessed by the divine. Thank you very much, sir. That was indeed a wonderful speech. Sir has given a positive boost that the 14-point principles of Vedatrium can be implemented easily by the countries at present. And the world is coming to a unity to fight that this viral crisis, which is a boon, and we have to avoid war among the countries. People now, they are understanding that we should live in tune with the nature and we should respect them. Sir also explained the concept of cause and effect. Thank you very much, sir. That was a thought-provoking speech. Now, the forum is open for discussion questions. If there are any queries, you may please click on the raise hand option in the Zoom and you can ask your questions. Krompet Manavalakalai Trust, you can ask your questions, sir.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Yes.
Sir, you have beautifully portrayed the state of facts, how the national countries are now facing, mentioning one by one from the past to the present day. And finally, you have discussed the aims of the World Community Service Center and for the implementation of 14-point program of our Swamiji, explaining the rule of cause and effect system. Finally, you have requested the world countries to take a vow to halt the world war temporarily, which is of great importance. We may hope for the best. One world government. ஐயா வாழ்க வளமுடன். வாழ்த்துக்கள் ஐயா.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Janaki Raman, you may ask your question.
ஐயா வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Yes.
Very amazing speech, I would say. Very thought-provoking. Okay. Really made people think as to what is the need of the hour. I only hope this kind of a thought goes from everybody across the world. So all the world leaders come together and say that, okay, let us not produce any more arms. Let us stop war and have a truce for at least next 5 years. So I think they realize that, okay, I mean, what we are doing right now is not good. Because right now, everybody needs money. If they're going to keep on spending money on wars and weapons, then they will not be able to meet what they need to do today. So I think you have started a very interesting and a very important current topic. I'm sure this wave should definitely travel all over the world. And through Vedatrium, I think somewhere Swamiji's thoughts must come true and make it happen, sir. I think very right time you did this, sir. I mean, extremely good. Okay, it's a very, very, very thought-provoking, and I hope this travels the globe and then leaders and people will make it happen. Thank you very much, and a wonderful thought-provoking speech, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Realme 2, you can ask your question, sir.
Be blessed by divine, sir. Sir, I heard your speech. It was very nice, and this was going probably with all our Vedadri Maharshi students, that we have a wonderful chance of making this happen and the world peace come true. Sir, now that entire world is hit by a virus, can't we take it to, because the entire world is looking for India, and now we have a right prime minister. Can't from World Community Center we go and take it this to the Prime Minister, and can it be practically implemented, sir? What steps have we taken, sir? Any ideas? Sir.
Yes, something will happen. Yes, we are all looking for solutions. We'll see how it can be taken. Yeah, World Community Service Center will take a decision on that. They've already approached Prime Minister, so he knows about our organization. When he had visited Coimbatore. So let us hope for the best. Not only our Prime Minister, let the entire world leaders can think of this. As I said, we have already even submitted to UNO. It is there with them. If somebody can take it to that level, yes, certainly it should become easier. Let us all hope something will happen.
Thank you, sir. Redmi, you can ask your question, sir.
Be blessed by the divine. Thank you so much for the speech. While all of us are thinking about ourselves and our family to look at this whole issue at such a big level, gave us a lot of perspective. Thanks again. And hopefully, I think we all have to revisit our 14-point plan to know more about how this can be done. Thank you.
Thanks, madam. Yes, all of our thought forces should definitely work.
Thank you, sir. Jayanti Sridhar, ma'am, you can ask your question.
First, Varga Valamudan. First thing is, I just want to know, should it be related only to today's topic, or can it be something else related with our Vedatrium techniques?
What is it? What's your question, madam?
I have some practical doubts on some of these one or two aspects. So I thought I'm not sure whether I can ask. Is this the right forum? Can I ask?
Otherwise, you can ask separately also. Let us strictly follow what is today's topic. We can always discuss later. Thank you. Thanks for understanding.
Moto G, you can ask your question. The name with Moto G, you can ask your question, sir. Hello.
I think he is not unmuted. Yes.
Yes, sir. So we'll wind up the session. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for explaining the question answers also, and excellent speech. So now let us all bless our Professor. Kindly all close your eyes and come to meditative state. Senior Professor G. Balachandran, sir, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine. His loving family, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. His divine service, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed.
So tomorrow we will have at 7:30 a.m. we will have the 9 center meditation, and evening 7:30 p.m. we'll have Duryadida meditation, and by 8 p.m. we will have a speech in English by Senior Professor Jayanti Balachandran ma'am on the topic signals and speed breakers for a successful journey of life. So please all invite your friends, relatives, and your family members to come and participate and get benefited from the great opportunity. On behalf of the World Community Service Center, we convey our heartfelt thanks to all the participants for today's session. And also we convey our gratitudes to the President of the World Community Service Center, Arunidhi Padmashri SKM Mailanandan sir, and the directors of IT Department, WCSC, for organizing such a wonderful programs for us. Thank you all. Be blessed by the divine. Good night.